Hi everyone, today we're taking a look at Wizard of Legend, and specifically at the wizards and their default loadouts. So you can see on the selection screen here we have 5 options, and I'm just going to go through each of them in order and take a look at the moves that they have. And we're going to start here with Mr, with the purple robes. Now his abilities are homing missiles and lightning onslaught, with the homing missiles being his signature move, which get the overdrive version. So let's take a look at Lightning Onslaught first in this little training room we have available here. As you can see, that move basically dashes you between all of the enemies nearby and deals some damage to each one. And very quickly. Now the other move, the homing missiles, gives you a little circle of fireballs there, which surround you and automatically lock on and home into enemies nearby. Now this is an incredibly good defensive move, because if you're running away from an enemy you can activate this and it will just automatically go for them as you run. You don't have to try to aim it, you don't have to worry about which guy to go for, it's just all automatic for you. Now if I collect another blue orb here, grab the overdrive version, what you get is this incredibly impressive looking triple version of the ability. So if I grab a few more of these just to show you that again, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to see that again? Here we go, there's the triple version of that again. And you can be pretty sure that's going to destroy anything you walk past. Next up we have the yellow robed guy here, which, as you might expect from his colouring, he uses a lot of fire-based moves. So he has Fire Blast as his signature move and Fireball as his other one. So let's check out Fireball first. As you might expect, it's just a big old fireball straight into the middle of the enemies and causes quite an impact. Now Fire Blast is a little different, it's a little short ranged, and basically you just have a wave of fire out in front of you. I'll do that again because it was a little against the wall there, and it sets the enemies on fire, which is quite useful, because that gives you a moment to get away and regroup while they take all the damage. Now if I just charge up the overdrive for Fire Blast there. Now this move gets a little more powerful with the overdrive version, as you'd expect, and by a little more powerful, I mean it basically fills the entire room with fire. Not much going to be standing in front of you when you use that. And here we go again, one more time. If that's not a whole lot of fire, I don't know what is. Next up is the blue wizard with 2 ice-based moves, Ice Wave being the signature move and Ice Sword being the second move. Now Ice Sword gives you a pretty giant sword to sweep the room with, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I would not like to be in front of that thing, or in fact anywhere in its vicinity. You see the sort of range you get on that ability. Ice Wave, the signature move, creates this little, I guess, wave, as you would expect from the name, of ice in front of you. It's a good directional move, and if I charge up the overdrive version here, you'll see the sort of carnage that can cause. Again, you're going to cause a lot of damage to anything standing in front of you if you use that move. And if we see that one more time. Next up we have the green wizard with Tornado as his signature move and Gale Boomerang as his second move. Now Gale Boomerang produces a pretty giant disc which you send out and comes straight back to you through anything that stands in its way, while Tornado surrounds you with Gale Force winds and causes quite a bit of damage to things around you. I know it also is able to actually deflect projectiles. Haven't done this myself yet, but I've seen a gif of it. So if we now see the overdrive version of Tornado, prepare yourself for the wind. That looks pretty brutal to anything standing around or in front of you. So let's see that again, shall we? Yep, that's going to be pretty good at clearing a room. So next up is the light blue, or I suppose maybe cyan wizard here, with Lightning Storm and Ball Lightning. Now Lightning Storm is continuously active and will zap anything that stands within that radius that you see mapped out on the floor underneath me there. Meanwhile, Ball Lightning is this nice little move which basically zaps a particular enemy and deals some damage over time to them. You have this ability to aim the move, if I swirl my stick around here for a while, and this gives you quite a bit more ability to target than most of the other moves. Now if we check out the overdrive version of Ball Lightning, the charging animation is a little more impressive, and when you fire it, it causes quite a bit of damage to anyone in the area it hits. Let's see that one more time, as is tradition. Here we have another blue wizard with Blizzard as signature move and Ice Wave as second move. Now we've seen Ice Wave before, you all know how that goes, but Blizzard is the new move for this guy that we haven't seen yet. And that basically coats an area in front of you with a quite impressive display of ice falling from the sky. So let's check out the overdrive version of that move. As you can see, a much bigger radius and the ability to steer it around. Let's see that again, and I'll show you the steering a bit better this time. As you can see, quite effective for clearing a room. If you have a lot of enemies around you, this would be a very good move to have available. Next up we have the slightly grey looking wizard here, Osiris, with Skeleton Minion as signature move and Turret as second move. Now this wizard has a very different playstyle to the other ones, where instead of directly dealing damage, you place your minions around, and they do all the damage for you. Now I can say from experience that this is certainly interesting to play. As I mentioned, it's a very different playstyle to the other wizards, and you'll find yourself generally staying out of the enemy's way and just dropping minions everywhere you go. So let's check out the overdrive version of the skeleton minions. As you can see, they are significantly bigger, they deal more damage, and they hang around for a little longer if I'm right. Let's see that again, shall we? You can see the little timer underneath them that indicates how long they have left until they disappear. And finally we have the red wizard here with Fireball and Homing Missiles. Now you've previously seen Fireball as the second ability for the yellow wizard, but in this case it's a signature move, which means we're going to see a little more impressive version of it. Now you're already familiar with Homing Missiles, they were the signature move for one of the other wizards, but if we move on to Fireball here, obviously you've seen that before, but if we charge up the Fireball here, as you can see, much louder, much more impressive. And the special thing about this move is you don't just get one Fireball, you can cast up to 3 by hitting the button repeatedly during the time of the attack. So that's a quick look through the wizards and their default loadouts in the game. Obviously there's many more abilities you can pick up while playing, but those are the basic options you have to start with. Hopefully you can see one in there that matches the sort of playstyle that you'd like to have. All the links are in the description below as usual, but for now, thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.